Hello everyone. Welcome to my craft room. My name is Dara Walter of Pickled Peppers Creative Cafe at pickledpepperscreative.com. pickledpepperscreative.com. There's the whole thing. Welcome. Today is Thursday, June 22nd. Is it the 22nd? It is June 22nd, 2023. And I am here to share with you. Thursdays are the days that I like to share creative projects with you and fun Stampin' Up! Products. And today is no different, folks. So welcome. Come on in. I like to chat just a little bit to give people time to find me in their newsfeed and prepare to create with me. And tonight I have a special request. So the card that I'm making tonight was a request. I showed a little peek of it at my class last week, and it is a card that I made with my team, the Pickled Perfect Stampers. And so I had a request to repeat it because people wanted to see how it was created. Hi Anna, I see Anna's watching. Hi Anna, welcome. Thank you so much for being here. Welcome. I hope that your trip was fantastic. I can't wait to hear about it. So yes, come on in. I am excited. Like I said, the card that we have tonight is a special request. So if you are on my team, I have shown you this card very recently. It's a little bit different, so the supplies are different, but it'll be a refresher for you, right? And so yeah, I am excited to do this by request. So how are you? We have a couple of announcements tonight. And just remember, if you are new here, welcome. And if you have been here a million times, I haven't been here a million times, but if you have been here lots of times, welcome. I'm just as excited about all of you being here. If you are watching me live, don't forget just to say hi. If you have questions, add them to the comment section below. If you're watching the replay, I'd like to know that too. And also, if you love what we are creating tonight, don't forget to share. I'll have some links in the description above for my YouTube channel, which I am trying to be a little more studious about posting over there. So we want to build that up in case you are more comfortable with YouTube. You can watch on YouTube as well. And the other thing is, if you want to know where and when I'm creating, when classes are, the best thing for you to do is join my email list, and there will be a link in the description above for that as well. It's the most reliable way to know where I'm creating. All right, so let's go ahead and get turned down. I think I have 2 announcements for you, and then we're gonna make a fun card. So thank you guys so much for being here. Here we go. Let's turn down. So I don't know if I'll be able to turn sideways tonight. I just remembered, I think I have to do that first. I've been working on my wider view. Some of you guys already know that. Yes, I've been working on getting a wider view, and I'm going to try it, but I do think that I have to do it first, and I forgot because I was excited to see you. So let's try and see if it will let me. No, I didn't think it would. All right, so let's just go ahead and turn down. We get what we're familiar with tonight, the long and narrow. That's okay. That's okay. This is where we're comfortable. We know this view, don't we? So welcome, you guys. Let me go ahead and grab the announcements for tonight. And there's just a couple. You probably have already heard them, but I just wanted to remind you that the starter kit is on sale this month from June 1st to June 30th. And by on sale, I mean that you can, if you purchase the starter kit, let me bring this a little bit closer. Let's see where our camera is. If you purchase the starter kit, you can get $155 worth of products for only $99. It ships for free as well. So there's free shipping on the starter kit. So I won't spend a lot of time, but I just wanted to remind you of that and remind you of the Designer Series paper sale, which also goes until June 30th, and it encompasses Designer Series paper in the annual catalog and the online exclusives. So there's that. Those are the announcements for tonight. I'm gonna turn my fan off because things are blowing on the table and I don't want that to happen. All right, so are we ready to create a fun card? We are, aren't we? We're going to be using a stamp set that it is a carryover. You have probably seen it. I think I've used it once or twice. I know that I've used it at least once, and it's been a little while. I used it when it was featured in the last catalog, so I'm going to be using it for the first time in our new annual catalog. This is the cover of our new annual catalog, by the way, just so you know, in case you have an old catalog hanging around. And if you don't have a new one and you need one, leave me a comment. I'll make sure that you get one. Hey, by the way, yesterday Stampin' Up! Did something amazing. I think it is the second, maybe the third time this year we had free shipping. So did anybody get a chance to take advantage of the free shipping yesterday? If you didn't, it was amazing. So you could combine it with the Designer Series paper sale. So those two things together made it really worth it. So tonight's project is a little less about the stamp set, although you all know I tell you all the time what a fan I am of two-step stamping. It makes beautiful cards. It makes them simple. It makes them easy to recreate. You don't have to do a lot of coloring. The stamps do the color for you, and then it's beautiful. It is absolutely gorgeous. And so we're going to be using this stamp set, and by the way, the contour dies, which you definitely seen a lot of from me, they actually coordinate with this stamp set. All right, so in terms of paper, we're not using any embellishments tonight. Can you guys believe that? We will be using some Stampin' Dimensionals. I'll grab some here in a moment. We'll get some Stampin' Dimensionals. So I'm going to be using Stampin' Dimensionals, but here is the color and contour, and then the Designer Series paper that we're going to be using tonight. It is called Bright and Beautiful. Hey, have you guys, since the Designer Series paper is on sale, have you been checking the paper out in the catalog? I hope you've been checking the paper out in the catalog because there's lots of good papers to choose from. And then this is one. Look at all of these bright and yummy colors. Dimensionals. Isn't this fun? So I think I used this once before, but we're going to be using some of the bright colors here. And the reason I love it, I think I might have told you, is that the pretty peacock is in there. And one of my all-time favorite colors, it is this. By the way, these are the two patterns that I have chosen out of that Designer Series paper. So we're going to be using these. And then we're going to be using the Lost Lagoon. So we have Lost Lagoon. So I have 2 pieces of cardstock. I'm not sure that I actually need 2. I think we need 1. But we have 1 on reserve. And then I have some basic white cardstock. If you're not familiar, our basic white cardstock comes in 2 different thicknesses. It comes in regular basic white, and then it comes in thick basic white. So for a card base, if you're using a card base, you would use the thick basic white. All right, and then what else do we have here? So I've gone ahead and cut all of the designer series paper we need. So let's take these 2 full sheets away, and I'll give you the dimensions as we're putting them down. I'll give you the dimensions of the card base too in a moment, but I'm gonna cut this and we'll score it together. So if you want to work together with me, you want to go ahead and grab cardstock and some designer series paper, you can work right along with me. That would be fun. Wouldn't that be fun? All right. So I have 2 pieces of designer series paper. They are cut at 1.5 by 5 1/4. So this is the pattern that I've chosen for those. We have a 3 by 3 piece of designer series paper. I think we're missing one and we'll need to cut that. So let's go ahead and cut it. We need it to be 1 by 3 3/4 inch. So let's bring in our paper trimmer. And then I have some punches. Now you're gonna need some circle punches. We have a 2 3/4 inch punch, a 2-inch circle punch, and a 1 3/4 inch punch. So I think I have well, a larger one. I think the basic white is 1 3/4. It might be 2. I should have a couple of, oh yeah, here's the 1 3/4. I have a 1 3/4 and a 2, and then we have the Lost Lagoon. We only need one of those, so we have those as well. And then we're gonna cut in another piece of designer series paper, 1 by 3 3/4 inch. So there's one, and then we'll cut it down. It looks like we could get 2 of this, or 2 out of this, but in 3 3/4. So I'll go over those pieces again, so you can see everything that we're working with. And I'm gonna leave this close by. I'll move it. We'll go over the dimensions again of the designer series paper, and then we will cut and score our card base and our extra piece. We need 2 pieces of cardstock for our card base. So the basic white is the regular basic white. We're going to stamp on this piece. We have 2 strips that are 1.5 by 5 1/4. We have one that we just cut that is the same pattern. This is 1 by 3 3/4. We have a coordinating yet contrasting piece that is 3 by 3. And then we have some basic white circle punches and a Lost Lagoon, and they're graduating. So if you don't have those exact dimensions that I gave you for the punches that we have, but we do have them in our catalog, you can come close to them. You'll just need a variety of circle punches. All right, so let's get started with our card base. We're going to move all of the extras to the side, and we're going to bring in the paper trimmer. And if you don't have our paper trimmer, I think I have told you this before, it is fabulous. You want it. I promise that you want it. It is the most used tool that I have in my crafting room. I use this more than anything. It's the most economical as well. It's like $25. I use it a lot. All right, so we have a standard piece of cardstock that is Lost Lagoon. It is 11 by 8 1/2. We're gonna leave it at 11, so we're not gonna cut the 11 side. And we're gonna cut it down to 5 1/2 inches, okay? So we'll put it right in our trimmer. Let's move it down so you can see the top of my trimmer. Can you see the top of my trimmer? Let's make sure we're in the camera good. We're gonna slide it right over to the 5 1/2. And we'll cut it lengthwise. So we have 5.5 by 11. And then we'll do some scoring. So let's go ahead and do the scoring. Let's see. We won't be able to use the extra, so we will need that second piece. So let's start the scoring. We're going to score at 1 3/4 of an inch. We're going to score again at 3.5 inches. We are going to score at 5 1/4 of an inch. So let's move this over a little more. 5 1/4 and 7. Swing our little arm out. So let's move this over so you can see there's an arm that extends, so we can go beyond the 6.5 or so inches that the trimmer cuts when the arm is closed, and 7. So I'm going to turn this sideways since we have a long view today so that you can see all of the score lines. Are you able to see all of those? So if you're looking at it, you have one larger section and 4 even sections. That's what you should have. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Do you see that? 1, 2, 3, and 4. So that's what you should have when you're done. And we're going to set this aside with all of the other pieces. We'll bring in that extra piece of Lost Lagoon, and we need another piece of cardstock that is 6.5 by 3 1/4. So I am going to cut on the long side, and by that I mean the 11-inch side. I'm going to cut a piece off of the 11-inch side at 3 1/4 of an inch. So that's the first cut that we need. 3 1/4. And this way I'm saving the majority of the cardstock. We have the larger piece here that we can put aside and along with the other piece that we had. We'll be able to use that in another project later. And so I have a 3 1/4 by 8.5, and we need to make it 3 1/4 by 6.5. So we're just going to turn it and cut it at the 6.5, and then this gets one score. And it is going to score at 3 1/4 of an inch. That is exactly halfway. So that's on the long side. Okay. So let's turn it around so that you're able to see. You see what we have here? So here's the larger part of our card base. Let's hold it down. I think I have a little bit of a shadow. Oh, it's from my hand. And then we have the 6.5 by 3 1/4 scored at 3 1/4. So we're gonna fold. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and we will put our paper trimmer away because I think we're done with that. We have a piece of basic white as well, so we'll need to bring this basic white. It is 3 3/4 by 5 1/4. So that goes along with all of the other pieces that we have. All right, so let's get started with some assembly. We'll do a little bit of stamping and then we're done. And let's show you how it goes. Well, let's do our scoring first. We'll move these right out of the way again. All right. So we have given this a nice crisp fold, and then we are going to fold on each of the score lines. It's an accordion fold, so we'll go back and forth. Let's go forward. And then we'll go back. Okay, so it looks a little bit strange, but this is what it should look like. This is what your card base should look like. And so it will fold out kind of accordion. Let's turn it to the side. All right, so the 3 1/4 by, or 3 3/4 by 5 1/4 piece of basic white will be our mat for the inside of the card. So if you are going to stamp a sentiment on your card, this would be a good time to do so. You could stamp your sentiment here and then attach, this is going to be the inside. So I'm going to turn this around just so that you can get your bearings and see how the card will assemble, what it should look like. So can you see the accordion here? Hi, Michelle. Thank you so much for being here. Happy Crafty Thursday. Happy hot and humid in Michigan Thursday. Thanks for being here. Okay, so this is what we should have at this point. And this is where that mat goes. So let's go ahead and adhere it down. I am not going to put a sentiment on. I rarely do, unless I know exactly. Another thing that I like to do, I don't know if you guys who are avid card makers do this or not, but when I create cards, I stamp the sentiment on the inside of the card, and then I write the sentiment that I want to give, the expression that I want to give, the handwritten sentiment. I write it on like a little note, a sheet of note paper, so that the person that I'm giving the card to, if they want to then go ahead and use the card and pass it forward, I just like them to be able to have that option. So that's just a little something that I do if you find that useful. All right. So now that we've done that, let's go ahead and bring in the three smaller, or skinnier, should I say, pieces of designer series paper, and I'll show you where we're going to put those. And then we have the remaining one that's 3 by 3. If you haven't guessed it yet, that extra piece of cardstock that we have. Hi, Julie. Thanks for watching. I see Julie's watching. If you didn't guess it, it goes here. So that's what we're going to do with that piece. Okay, we're going to set that aside for a moment. The smaller of the pieces we're just going to put in the inside of the card here, right at the bottom. So it's going to be about maybe a 1/2 inch or so from the bottom of the card. So if you're recreating this card, make sure that you place this before you stamp your sentiment. Well, you wouldn't really have to, but in the event that you would want to put the sentiment higher or it's larger, it will give you a better idea of where you should be stamping. All right, so here's our close card. We're going to apply each of the 2 identical pieces of designer series paper. The first will go on the front of the card. So let's go ahead and do that. We'll grab our Stampin' Seal Plus and adhere this right down. You could use liquid multi-purpose glue also. I'm trying to use it more. I just like the idea that the liquid multi-purpose glue allows you to move the mats around, or move whatever elements that you're placing. Yes, Julie. Julie says she loves this fun fold. Julie is a member of my Pickled Perfect Stampers, so they got to actually see this card beforehand. So she actually got to practice this card, and she's right. There's a little bit of a twist on it, and Julie knows about the twist, and we're going to see it in a minute, and I think it's exciting. Hi, Amy. I see Amy is watching. Hello. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you're feeling better today. I'm trusting that because I see you here watching that you are feeling better. Sending you some love and good juju. All right. So the second piece will go on the third. So let me open so you can see. Remember in the beginning we talked about 4 even sections. So the first section gets one of those pieces, and then the third, and then that's it. There we go. And then let's go ahead and put this little guy down. I don't want to lose this little guy. He's a little small. We want to keep track of him. So, like I said, it's about maybe a 1/2 inch or so from the bottom edge of that basic white mat that we have for the inside of our card. All right, so this is what it looks like so far. So that having been said, we're going to set this aside just for a moment, and we'll go ahead and adhere the 3x3 piece of designer series paper to that 6.5 by 3.25. I do want to point this out, however. So there is a top and bottom. If your piece of designer series paper is directional, you're going to want to make sure that you have this like a book fold so that it opens like a book, right, left to right. And then with that in mind, you'll apply this top to bottom. I'm saying that because I want my dashes, the lines, to be vertical instead of horizontal. Oh, Amy, I bet your shower felt really good. I think I'm going to have a shower right after the live because it's pretty humid. It's pretty humid. So I have vertical lines, which is what I wanted. So I wanted to point that out. And then for the final assembly, this is the little twist on this card. We're going to, let's do a dry run so that you understand how this should assemble. So this is actually a reverse of a book, isn't it? I told you it's a book fold, so it's actually going to be reverse of the book. So we're going to open this smaller element. We're going to adhere the back of it. You could probably almost open, we could probably, and let's try this. We're going to try this. Let's get this right in the screen here. So can you see that we have all, I think this is going to be an easier way to do this. We have all of our folds open. The side with the designer series paper will go towards the outer edge of the card, and the side without will go towards the inner edge of the card. And I think that if my theory is correct, we should be able to line the center fold of this smaller card right between the 4 sections that we have here, right on the center fold. If I'm correct, if we line these 2 folds up and we put this right in the center, we're going to have the desired effect. All right, you guys. I'm going to put my theory in action here. That having been said, We only want to apply adhesive on the very edge here. We want adhesive here and here. So let me show you where I'm going to put it before we try the final assembly. So you see where I've applied the adhesive? I'll just move it around a little bit to see if I can catch the light. There we go. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. And then we're going to bring this in the center, and we're going to take the center fold here and we're going to line it up with the center fold here, right smack in the center. So I'm going to hold this down so that it's flat, and I'm just going to eyeball. I am so okay with eyeballing. If you would rather measure, you can do that. You can do that. I am so okay with eyeballing. It's not even funny. Oh, we have to turn this around. Did you guys catch that? I didn't. I did not. Remember we said the designer series paper has to go towards the outside. So let's flip it around and do this again. Here we go. Right in the center. All right, you guys, keep your fingers crossed. Oh, thank you, Amy. This is so fun. This designer series paper is so fun. And the best thing about it is there is Pretty Peacock. And then when we fold the card, this is what we have. Isn't that fun? Did you see what happened? So now, whoever we give this card to, look at that. Look at that fancy fold. Thank you so much for the hearts and the thumbs up. Thank you, guys. You see that? Super, super cool, right? Let me turn it this way. Here we go, just so that you can get an idea. All right, thank you guys so much. So that is the fun of the fold. And then the only thing that we have left to do is decorate the front. So now remember, we have the varying circles. We're going to reserve the smaller circle for a moment. We're going to do some stamping there. And then we'll put the larger Lost Lagoon circle aside for a moment too. And we're going to take, so let me bring them out again. We have 2 white circles, the smaller and the medium, and then the larger one is the color that matches your card base. So now we just want the center one, and we're going to stamp on the center one, and we'll put the smaller one and the largest one away for a moment. And then, oh, actually, I'm not going to stamp on it. I'm going to stamp on the scrap of basic white that we have, and then we're going to attach it to that center one. So let me backtrack a little bit. And the 2 ink colors that I'm going to be using, you better believe that we're using, thank you, Michelle. Michelle says that's cool. Isn't that cool, Michelle? It's a really fun card to make. That's why they call them fun folds. We're using, you better believe we're using Pretty Peacock and Lost Lagoon, you guys. These look so good together. I'm going to do something that I normally don't do. I like to do one at a time because I am messy. For some reason, I open the ink and it jumps on me. It jumps on my hands. It gets all over. I don't know how it gets there, but it does it. But today I'm actually going to open both of them because the stamping is going to be so minute. You don't need a lot of stamping. And then we're going to use this flower. I guess it's kind of daisy looking. Black-eyed Susan, it could be. What other flower could this be, you guys? You tell me. I see daisy, black-eyed Susan. That little thing could be, I don't know. But we're going to stamp both of those onto the basic white here. And I already have them. We're going to use the Pretty Peacock. Let me show you these up close before I stamp. So we have an outline. And then we have the solid for the color. Cosmo. Ooh, I'll have to look at that. I'm not familiar with that. Cosmo. I like it. And you're probably right, because I am not the greatest with plants. I know a little, but not a lot of. So I'm just going to go ahead and stamp the outline in the Pretty Peacock. And I'm being a little naughty because I actually should have a Stampin' Pierce mat below me, but I don't. Oh, we'll leave that Pretty Peacock open for a moment. And then we have our Lost Lagoon. These colors are scrumptious together. I love, love, love it. And then I'm just going to kind of loosely try and figure out which direction to turn this. And I'm using the two little petals that are kind of together, and I'm looking for the two petals that are kind of together here. And I can't really see. I don't want to hover over, because then you'll see my head and not the stamp, and I don't want that to happen. So I hope I've gotten it correct. Hi, Julie. Welcome to Crafty Thursday. Thank you so much for being here. I think you're going to like this card. So here it is. That Lost Lagoon will dry just a little lighter. The camera is not going to show you how gorgeous it is, but it is wonderful. And there is a coordinating die with the contour dies. So with the contour dies, you're going to get a lot of scallop rectangles, but you do also get the die cut for the flowers, and I think this little guy as well. So here's the die cut that coordinates with this flower, and of course we've done it off camera. So that is the magic of camera. Here we go, and I'll put that aside, and we'll cut it out later. Isn't that yummy? I don't know, that just scribbly look, it grabs me. All right, so now here are our 3 circles. So remember I said we were going to stamp on the middle circle, but no, we're not. We're going to pop this up with some Stampin' Dimensionals, and we're going to adhere it here. So that's what this is going to look like. But since we have the ink out, let's go ahead and grab our sentiment, and we're going to stamp the sentiment with Pretty Peacock. So let's grab a block. Just makes sense to do it now while we have everything out. And the sentiments with this stamp set are, thank you for everything, so very happy for you, you're amazing, here for you now, and then and in better days ahead. So I think I'm gonna use the no, let's grab the thank you. I've been making birthday cards and other cards, and I can always use thank you cards. So let's grab that thank you sentiment. I'm going to ink it up a little bit with our Pretty Peacock, and we're almost done. We are almost done. All right, so there's our sentiment. Thank you for everything. In Pretty Peacock. It's in the Pretty Peacock. Let's go ahead and close our ink. I think I did good. I managed not to get ink on my fingers. Let's bring our card back in, and you can put some embellishments on your card if you want. I didn't with this one. There's a lot going on with the designer series paper, so I couldn't decide. And so then I did decide. My decision was none. I couldn't decide what I wanted to do, so none. And then let's go ahead and pop our flower up with a couple of Stampin' Dimensionals. We'll stick them right in, because you guys know that there is no way. Oh, I must have ink on my hand. It's on the dimensional. There's no way that we're going to have a completely flat card, because I just can't do that. And actually, so we're going to put this right in the center. And I think I might give that a little bit of dimension too. Oh no, let's leave it flat. We'll give the dimension to our sentiment. So we're gonna put our sentiment here. So let's go ahead and add a little bit of double-sided adhesive. We'll add this right to the center. So look at that. Not a lot of stamping required. Of course, if you want to do lots of stamping, you can do that too. There's room for that. If you use the contour dies, you could make a larger area there. But sometimes when I'm making cards, a lot of times, I like to make them sweet and simple. And when I'm making them for class, my customers that create with me, they like them sweet and simple too. As I can sometimes think something is sweet and simple and then it's not. There we go. All right, here we have it. Isn't this so fun? And like I said, you could, thank you so much for the hearts. And isn't that designer series paper fun? It's like a scrumptious rainbow of all of the colors. Very, very nice. Thank you. Oh, Amy says it's on my thumb. Amy, you are a Hawkeye. You're right. It is on my thumb. Thank you, Julie. And Julie says it's so easy. Julie says she loves the fun fold. Yes, Julie Smith has made this card. So it looks intimidating, but she is telling you the truth. It is easy, and the fun fold is really nice. And like I said, if you want to jazz it up, you can do that too. But the paper that I chose in this case is really busy, so I thought I'd let it speak for itself. Thank you so much. Oh, hi, Beth. I didn't see you out there. You're so welcome. You are so welcome. Thank you so much for being here. All right, you guys, so this is what I had to show you for tonight. Remember, we used, isn't this Lost Lagoon fun? This is a nice, I don't know how to describe it, but it's a really nice green. I like it. I'm glad that I chose it. Thank you, thank you. And then remember, our ink colors today were Pretty Peacock and the Lost Lagoon, and they paired together really, really well. We use the color and contour stamp set and dies. We use the dies. And then the designer series paper we used was the Bright and Beautiful. Let's bring it in. I actually remembered to take it out of the package so that I could thumb through it with you without fumbling. So lots of beautiful colors there. And I like that horizon looking. You see that? That's kind of nice. I can't go too high. Something about the way I've moved my setup. I'm getting a little bit of a shadow, but I hope that you can see them. Look at those stars. Fun. This is a good birthday card, huh? Oh, Julie, did you just get this paper? Isn't it fun? It's birthday and celebration, it looks like. And I think for this time of year, it's really bright and colorful. And there's lemon lolly in there. You guys, I am anxious to make a card with lemon lolly in the bubble bath. If you haven't seen the bubble bath, it's a really bright pink, and because those two colors are so bright, I am itching to, maybe next week when we come back, the card or the projects that I make, it may be featuring that bubble bath and lemon lolly. I am challenging myself to use it, to use those colors. And then don't forget about the starter kit being on sale. Thank you so much, you guys. Thank you. It means so much to me. The hearts and the thumbs up. I appreciate you. Right back. And then don't forget the designer series paper is on sale. So that paper that we used tonight, it's on sale, you guys. All right, let's go ahead and turn up and say good night. Hello. I'm glistening. You see that? It is pretty warm. All right, you guys. I appreciate you humoring me and allowing me into your space to create with you. Oh, yes. Yes, Julie is right. She says the sale is so good. You're so right. The 12 by 12 paper is like, it's $10 and some change. So it is, there are lots of 12 by 12 designer series paper. I filled up my cart with designer series paper. So you guys will be able to see lots of fun paper. And yeah, $10 and some change. So it's a fantastic deal. A fantastic deal. And so next week I will be here with you again. Same place, same time. We'll have something fun. Maybe I'll challenge myself and you'll see if you're interested in seeing that lemon lolly and bubble bath together. I don't know how it will look, but we'll find out. All right, you guys. Thanks a million for being here. I hope that you try our fun fold tonight. I think it was really fun and really simple. And I do like the way that we added the extra elements. So I think that will work good for you too. All right. Have a fantastic crafty weekend. And I will see you next week. Same place, same time. Take care, you guys. Bye-bye.